Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 10 Minutes Astrology. Once a week, me and Alejo will come here to share a little bit of astrology knowledge with you. Doesn't matter what you're doing, I will keep my face straight and continue to say, today we are going to talk about the moon in Scorpio. Hi, Alejo.
Yes, today we're talking about Moon Scorpio. Hi Rod, hi
Uh,
everyone.
yeah. So you started your Scorpio mode a little bit earlier when I start this
Yes, I can
presentation or
contain.
something. You can contain. You have to let it out.
Yes.
So yes, we already talked about nearly the early hour from Aries. Now we come to the moon in Scorpio. Well, I know Scorpio for most of the people who know a little bit about astrology will have a little bit of kind of a word to say. But to be honest, well, for a professional astrologer, we have to take it back to the basic and unpack it why people saying that and why they act like that, right?
Yes, I think
That's a little
Scorpio
bit
is one of
more,
the
yeah.
signs that has been really misunderstood, and I think it has to do with our cultural association to the sun and the light. So we want
Ah,
everything to be progressive and everything to be nice and friendly.
yeah.
And
And
we're afraid of the dark, we're afraid of
yeah,
going to deep places, and we're actually afraid of transformation, which is one of the words for Scorpio.
definitely, definitely. So let's start to unpack the moon in Scorpio, and then we will say how do we going to say it during especially more professional way, because I think there's a lot of people you don't want to do your consultation when you have your moon or sun in Scorpio client come in sit in front of you and say you should say, oh my god, are you full of darkness or something? You're going to piss them off. You're going to upset them, and that is so unprofessional. To be honest,
I
a
mean,
lot
if
of
they are Moon in Scorpio, they're not going to be upset. They're going to say,
uh,
yes, I am. You should
yeah,
be careful.
yeah, and you really have to be careful. But I have to say that is not professional. To be honest, with our the what we train in the school, we always been told you have to be professional. Every of your client come to you, you need to build a trust and a link between you and them. It's not about that they are everything 100% beautiful, but they are allowed to be themselves rather than say they are dark, they are terrible. There's a lot of other things you have to say in the moon in Scorpio. So Alejo, how about you start it?
Okay, sure. And I would say also they are dark. The verb to be is not a verb I would use when we're talking about the moon. Because when we're
Mm,
talking about the moon, I would use what we need
yes.
to feel safe and nurtured, like I keep saying and saying. So, with the moon in Scorpio, the person needs emotional depth. What we need is to feel the emotions, whatever we're feeling, with intensity and wholeheartedly. We need to fully go to the essence of the emotion, and we need to get in touch with those emotions, and that's what gives us a sense of home, a sense of nurturing, a sense of life, I would say. um, we can imagine this person, when they were children, that the relationship with the caretaker, with the figure that was taking care of them, might have been a little bit invasive, perhaps a little bit
Mm,
intrusive. So there was this sense of lack of boundary between this caregiver and the baby. So there was this sense of total fusion with this
mm,
person. So the baby was feeling what the caregiver was feeling, and it was very hard probably for the baby to detach from that, to be able to move away from that. So
mm,
with this came the threats, perhaps, or the fear that if I move away from this caregiver, because this caregiver is giving me life, I will not survive. And this brings later in life, perhaps, this need to make deep emotional bonds, because I feel that if there's not, there's this sign in Argentina, in one of the streets in Argentina, that says, if there is not love, there shall be nothing. And it's something like that. It's like it doesn't have to be love. It can be hate, it can be fear, it can be happiness. But if there's not an intense emotion that's clearly felt and that I cannot go deep into it, then there's no life. The sense is that I'm going to die if I'm not experiencing an emotion. And that's why from the outside, we might see Moon and Scorpio like, they're so intense. You know, they're so dark, like you were saying, they're so dark with their emotions. And actually what they are is they are paying attention to their emotions, and they're being able to hold their emotions with their whole heart. Also, I think there is this, we said in Scorpio, there's this idea of transformation. So we can imagine also perhaps critical situations in which the person, you know, from children, they were forced, to face situations that were critical, that they felt they needed to do something to survive. So there's this sense that life and surviving and love comes when I thrive in critical situations. So there might be, again, a tendency to, in situations that are critical, situations that are hard, or situations that are scary, to try to, first of all, go deep with your whole feelings, and then perhaps to become controlling, because the memory that arises is that memory of the past in which they have to thrive to survive when they were babies. So maybe they didn't have all of the resources to do it. So it's like a defense mechanism, you know, it's built.
Yeah.
The great gift, I would say, of this moon is that, well, they can, you know, like you were saying, the person is full of darkness. They can, we will never say to a client like, you're full of darkness. No, what we would say is that this person has the possibility of facing darkness. They have the possibility of facing crisis, of facing critical situations, and because they got nurtured from that. They got nurtured from
Yes.
hard situations that seem to be life-threatening. So now they can walk the path with others. You know, this is a person who can see what's behind, who can see what's hidden in the emotional world of others, and who's probably not afraid. It's probably not afraid of emotions. They have emotional depth, so they're not afraid of jealousy, they're not afraid of anger, they're not afraid of embarrassment. They can face all of these emotions. So they are like the perfect friend, you know, they are the person who can stand with you in a situation that is super hard, super difficult. This is the person that might not try to fix it, you know, who might be able to just stay there with you, because they understand the power and the vitality that emerges when you connect with these deep situations. I'm becoming super passionate about this moon. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop talking now.
Well, I agree with you. That kind of passion, that kind of intensity, make many people misunderstood. But when we go back to the basic of astrology, the most simple way to delineate this sign is a fixed sign and the water sign. And we understand when we talk about the element and when we talk about the quality, modality, we have to understood that a fixed sign, they always hold on something. They always hold on something in order maybe make them feel secure or make them feel like they can maintain something. Then that is water sign. So they hold on feeling and they hold on memory. They hold on those intangible things, mysterious things, artistic things, or anything that you cannot see. And that is ability of the Scorpio sign. And then now when coming here, it's very interesting, like someone dive into that intense emotion, those emotion or those feeling they hold entire of their life. So there is intensity there. Like you say, I would say Moon in Scorpio are their authentic friend, but then you have to be authentic and faithful to them. Okay, you don't need to be faithful, but you need to be true. You need to be true of yourself because they can really penetrate to deep into your bone. Because they can their insight is so sharp and they can go that is this one authentic or not? Even you just like even if you don't like it, you say, well, I don't really like this part.
Yeah, exactly. Yes,
Yeah,
they will see it. If you're lying, they will see it.
And they will you will slightly lose their trust. And I like one thing you mentioned about it. Yes, it's so important if our follower watch until now still don't know what moon is represent our niche, they can go back to the other 8 episodes of a moon sign, and when we talk about moon sign, moon is our need, and the moon is Scorpio. There is a need of the holding the feeling or holding that in order to make them feel secure or make them feel like they have a chance to survive. But and they are really good, like you say. I think with their experience, they are really good in crisis management and the transformation. I think transformation take a little bit longer time. I mean, take a little bit longer
Yes.
time.
Because we say transformation. I was talking about the other day. I had to give this webinar about the 8th house. We say transformation, and it sounds so pretty. Transformation is a very difficult process.
Definitely, yeah. So, well, how about we take an example to see the moon in Scorpio, how intense they are.
Let's see who we have. Oh,
Gaga, yeah.
Lady Gaga, yes.
Do you think it is intense enough?
She has moon in Scorpio conjunct Pluto.
Conjunct Pluto.
What do you think?
That is a very intense moon, to be honest. It's so deep and it's a hold so tight. And I think with this moon Pluto, if we say I will dig like a 10 meter under the ground and say, okay, I see the truth, she probably will dig onto the core of the earth to find out the truth.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you think about her moon in Scorpio
and it's in the 5th house? I would say there's something about, in her music and her art that it's also about, it's creative and it's kind of exposing feelings, emotions, and sometimes exposing, how she has this idea of your what is it that she says? I think she called her fans monsters or something like that.
Yeah.
There's this idea of finding beauty where others would see monstrosity. And I think it's very much a moon in a Scorpio, like this need to connect with a part of life that so many of us, because of the culture we live in, we reject. And actually, life is there. Like, it is a water sign, life is in water.
Yeah.
So this is a sensitive sign. This is a sign that holds the secret to life.
I think I 100% agree with you, because if we see this moon conjunct Pluto, but it's also tri Jupiter in the Pisces near her MC, you can see another side. There is the kindness, there is the inclusive, and that is the moon in Pluto. Yes, I know the rejection, I know the neglection or something like exclusion, make people feel like unwanted or ignored or maybe like wounded. But there is the love there, and trying to I just like try to image all the song in her life, like her very first one is a poker face, right? And that moon in Scorpio is about that poker face. And then Bad Romance, another one I remember. And then what I see is when I see the moon conjunct Pluto in Scorpio, then I suddenly remember another very interesting song called Judah. Well, we know that is the world's biggest betrayal, or maybe not. She's trying to see that in a different storyline. Is Judah really betrayed Jesus? And a lot of people talking about that is arrangement too. We don't know. Anyway, I don't want to go that part. But this moon is trying to dig out a different truth underground, and it's so interesting. And through her art, through her music, it's quite interesting to see this moon in Scorpio. Anything you want to add to that? Yeah.
No, also she's also an Aries. So this is the chart of somebody who's combative, because she's Sun in Aries, Mars angular in Capricorn, and it's Moon in a Scorpio, conjunct Pluto in the 5th. Like, this is a person who has the stamina to fight their fights. But then also she's Gemini rising, and it's Mercury is in Pisces, so they know they can reshape who they are in order to keep up with their fights. Well, so very interesting chart.
Very interesting. A fighter with a good heart, and then she will stand still and stand there until she get what she want with that Mars in Capricorn, because I have the
Yeah.
same position. But I like her Jupiter. There is a kindness there. There is a kindness there that maybe many people maybe not noticed that yet. But I think it's a beautiful Jupiter there. Well, thank you, Alejo, for today. We talked about Moon in Scorpio. And what is the next sign?
So now we're going to Sagittarius.
Sagittarius. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're definitely going to have some fun. Okay, so thanks everyone watching the 10 minutes astrology. And next week we're going to talk about Moon in Sagittarius. Bye bye.
Bye.